Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody online. And I'm nervous. Let's get that out of the way. Everything. Nervous about life. Nervous about love. But I'm not nervous about the soul. So this is Sola G. There's no doctrine, there's no dogma, there's no book. It's energy. It's the I am soul. It's that part of you that breaks open your heart. It's that part of you that empowers you to take responsibility for yourself. And not to externalize anything, not to blame, not to make excuses. So we're gonna play some music for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. We're gonna invite people up here to share whatever they'd like or to witness, because that's very important. I really appreciate all the people that have created Soulogy. I was watching an old video the other day from like the 10th video. And it said, I said, you watch, we got no money, but we have our energy and our love and our hearts and our soul, and we're gonna create something. Miss Cruz over here turned 44 on the 19th, and she drove here 18 hours from Lincoln, Nebraska, and that's what it's all about. Doesn't matter if you have 1,000 people. It's the energy that you produce, each and every one of us, and now where two or more gather becomes extremely powerful. This is a time and a space that has been written about for thousands of years. And the governments don't have the answers, and the religions don't have the answers. We have the answers. And that is the I am soul. Did you bring your guitar? Yeah. Thanks for coming, bro. So what we do at Soulogy is we operate from this spontaneous, the imaginative, the intuitive, the creative, and depending on what we're talking about or doing, the courageous. And so whenever we get together, he just does what he does. It's all from scratch. And I used to read the words, and sometimes I still do, but he's taught me something I thought I already knew. And that is the spontaneous is the most powerful point. It is the eternal moment. We are the eternal moment. So you just make it up as you go. That's being present. And if you sing off key or get a word wrong, you just keep on going. And that's a great thing about Sola G, because people express themselves in so many ways on all the platforms. And they come out to be seen, and it's a beautiful thing. And all the money in the world can't hold any comparison to just one person shining their soul. So we hope to do that and share that with you tonight, and hope that you'll do it with us. I am soul. But first I had to find my human being, revisiting all the trauma, a past life memory. When the heart bleeds, when the heart starts to see, and the mind comes into alignment, and we start making decisions from the truest place at our core. A sacred marriage, masculinity and femininity, and golden child. Can't you hear the children singing? This is how we do, down on Soul Street. We come together for our souls to meet. It's not every day that I get to spend this time with you and me. Time to play on Soul Street. Play on, feel it in the soul. This is how we grow down on Soul Street. I have another guest here. My mother's here. She's 84 years old, and she escorted me to Sedona. My mother is a mother universe. When you can love the way she does, that's when you know you are awakening. When you're streaming She's always full of surprises. But don't you see, her love is me. And with her love, the Trinity is three. New birth, new creations, new babies, new earth, new creation. And all she wants you to do is shine. Shine your soul, that's what the mother told me. Don't look back. Not even if I tell you to stop. True story. Keep on going, shine your soul, share your heart, share your love. It's me. It's probably my frequency. I'm about to have to do aqua. On the left by the door, it's got a little slide button. This one?
That should be the.
All right.
That should be the last one.
That's the wisdom. So we got people from all over the world. Sola G. I think I counted there were 72 countries a couple of 3-4 years ago. Another way to describe Soulogy is that we're always adding frequencies to an ever-expanding vibration, because the universe is not stagnant. It's always moving. And this realm, however you want to describe it, is a realm that was real thick in density and conditioning and distortion, and that was a heavy trip. But the good news is we figured it out, and we're realizing the power and the strength and the love and the wisdom that we all carry, every one of us. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah? Scared as hell. I know you like that. Sola G's like a box of Cracker Jacks. You never know what you're gonna get. And we've started a movement, I guess you could say. We've had many iterations, and recently we added 20 producers producing their own program on the SolarGNetwork.com. This is a download that came in 2012. And for years and years, I kept receiving it, and I didn't understand it. But I see it coming now. And in the conventional world, it makes no sense at all. But it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen, and it's a simultaneous expansion of the individual soul and the infinite monad that we all make up. Conscious colored energy, a hailing from other side, stepping into majesty, coming out of these traumas and tragedies. The shadows are the gold. Cognitive dissonance is a thing of the past. We've outlasted everything. GMOs, fluoride, chemtrails, TV programming, and all that other stuff that they don't ever want to talk about. But you know what? They is us. Call it the 1%, the Illuminati, the Cabal, whatever you want to call it. Everything we see, everything that we believe in, everything that we don't want to associate with, it's all the same God, Goddess, substance. And we're down here on this earth learning to master energy, learning to work in unison, in integrating all polarities. I know it. It's been a rough trip, but now we're getting all grit. And now it's time to let this mother rip. Getting past the shifting, souls are lifting all over the world, and the universe is on the edge of its seat. Want to see how far we can go, where all the people meet. We call it Sola G. Some people call it Soul Street. The funky bluesy beats. It ain't singing, it ain't rapping. When the soul speaks. When the soul speaks. the rhyme of life. Shifting gears again to a higher ground. Angst, death and doubt, a dying heart. Shadows are revealing lost identities. Patience and dreams of destiny. They're still worth keeping for us. I can't see. Everybody's a falling star rising again. Have you seen the two suns colliding? Reflections of you and me in a Sagittarius moon. Intersections are synchronicities meeting. Faith is trust in soul's healing capacity.
Is the rhythm you feel from your soul? Does it make you glow and expand through creation? Why do we fight with ourselves? We are all warriors in this creation. It takes time to look inside of you to know what to do in the face of your destiny. You are free to know that you gotta feel it in your soul.
Always been about you and me in this crowded space. We still can't shine. Our love was for we.
soul, the silence that surrounds love, dancing in the soul, moving on, on. When we feel we grow, destiny does not have to be unknown. It's right here in this very moment.
Soften and see a suit. Surrender to embrace. Clap your heels together. Living is a dying grace. See my holy face. Feeling in my fingertips. Time to get your soul shine on. Get your soul shine on.
Get your soul shine on.
Get your soul shine on.
Soul shine on.
Get your soul shine on. Yeah.
Soul shine the freedom that's illuminated in you, in me. Together we have a soul family. Feel it in the soul.
Seeing the stars and spaceships, the rainbow colors coming down, lighting coated bodies, red, black, white, yellow, brown. One soul tribe, one soul tribe. Serena's in the house. There she is. Well, that was some dancing. There's a lot of energy. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is the part where we start to invite people up here. Everyone's invited to come up here. You can give a testimony. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you always wanted to tell jokes, you know, like an amateur night. I think that was a that was some kind of signal from the universe, so somebody's going to have to do it. Can't be me.
Somebody's telling jokes.
Yeah. If you want to talk about your passion, you know, what you want to bring to the world. If you want to talk about keeping your side of the street clean, like our sister Serena talks about, you know. If you want to talk about what possessed you to drive 18 hours from Lincoln, Nebraska on your 44th birthday, and I love you for that. And I love all of you. Or if you want to talk about life as an embodied fairy being who has a relationship, and I've seen it and it's on film, and I lived at his house for 2 weeks and I met him personally. If you want to talk about anything you want to talk about. So, who would like to come up first? Anybody? Poppy? Yeah? Hmm? Don't let him talk.
Vibration, right? So this is hey y'all, Poppy here. I'm just going to jam out on this handpan a little bit. It's in the key of B. It's a B Ursula. Hopefully Ty can help accompany with a little music, but I was just telling Todd that some of us, you know, express ourselves with words and some just with vibration, and this is a unique instrument that some good friends of ours are super talented. They do sound bass all across the world, and I was lucky enough to sit with one of our friends, and a couple years ago, I guess, and my partner Willow, we play a little bit together, but we kind of jam in ceremony a lot, and we play music with a variety of different people and a variety of different music, but I'm just a hobbyist, but we'll give it a shot and see what we can do and share a little bit of vibration.
That was dope. That was dope. You're good, man. Yeah. Not do it? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Check it again? You want to get in front of the speaker? Good? Okay. All right. Who's next? Is it you? Are you? Are you? At some point, I'd love my mom to come up here, but no pressure. Everybody knows when Todd says, "You want to come on the show?" Nope. Get the same response. Or if you're coming to my house, don't turn your camera on. Don't be live when you come over. Serena, Ashley. Well, you can sit here. You can sit here. Do you want to have? Let's see. Okay. Do you want to speak alone, or did you? Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Put that live.
So can you hold that first? I can hold that first. Okay. For you. Okay, cool. Okay. Hi, everybody. No. So not necessary. So let's get into our bodies, right? So I am so physical in this world, and when I see everybody, I'm excited. And excitement and nervous are like just 1 degree apart. So we can put a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart. And let's just take nice deep breaths together. So breathing behind the heart center. And release. Breathe into the heart. Fill the belly. And breathe out. Now you can imagine breathing in through the crown, breathing gold white, down into the pelvis. Allow it to swirl around, and exhale out the crown. And we'll just do one more. Very good. And then we're going to just do a little neck release on each side, right? So we're going to take your right ear and tilt it to your right shoulder. It's already revealing all that's being held there. And if you can, maybe you can tuck your left arm behind as a little place hold. Yes. Now this may feel enough for you, but you're welcome to bring your right hand up and just place it on top of your head. Yeah, and you start to pull apart the space between the head, neck, and shoulder. As we breathe in and release all of your tension. Breathing in, separating the shoulder and the head. Good. One more breath. Let your arms bounce down by your sides and let the head float up. And you might already feel just that open up on that side, right? So easy, so simple we can do for ourselves. Other side, so we're even, left ear to left shoulder. So it's a head tilt, so make sure your chin and your eyes are up. And keep the neck open, and we're prying open the side of the neck. Good. We're going to tuck the right arm behind this time. And if you need that extra weight, you can place your hand on top of the head. Good. And let's just take 3 breaths together here. Fill the lungs with that gold white breath. exhale, the arms float down by your sides and the head comes up. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
So one of the conversations that Ashley and I and others like to have is called bathroom epiphanies. How many times do you find yourself alone in your bathroom, whether it be in the shower or in front of the sink, and you just get these downloads of insight? Isn't that interesting? Why it happens in the bathroom? I think it happens because we see it as a safe place. We are generally alone in the bathroom. You're confronting yourself in the mirror, or you're in the shower, nurturing and respecting your body with the sacred water. And it's such a beautiful way to start the day, allowing spirit to come through. So what I've noticed happening in my life right now is my perception of the way things are changing drastically. It seems like a never-ending spiral of unfolding. And how about some background music? Yeah, I sound cooler that way. So what that means is definitions that I once had. What does a friendship mean? What does a intimate relationship mean? I'm finding that those definitions are transforming and they're changing, and things that once held priority in the space of my mind is now falling away. A good example of this is my need to know why. Why are things the way that they are? Why do people do what they do? Why do people not do what I think they should do? Why are the entities and groups that are allegedly supposed to be supporting us not? And I've done that for 46 years. And now I'm bored. Because what I've come to is there really is no definitive answer to my question. And so I'm letting my frontal lobe relax. And I'm letting the inquiry of why things are the way that they are to not be the priority of my mind. So it comes with allowing what is. It comes with accepting every single thing that is happening. And my face is more relaxed. I'm not trying to figure it out. And my energy now can be more about emanating what it feels like to be in the now moment. And I'm just really happy to share that I'm in this place because it took some time. So again, just redefining what we have been told or what we think certain things should be. The should word, I think we should just remove that from the language. And what is happening, we're going against the current. And we all know what that feels like. It's fatiguing, it's draining, it's work. And I think we've done enough work in this lifetime and others. So I'm allowing myself to go with the current of the flow of life. And I'm actually finding more ease and grace through every moment of every day. Do you want to share your bathroom epiphanies?
Thank you. The bathroom epiphanies. Well, they started in the shower. I call it my like a telephone booth to God. It's kind of interesting. And recently, though, over the last year or two, I think that telephone booth is like every moment of every day. I don't think I'm in the shower, out of the shower, in the bathroom, wherever. It's like everywhere. And in these moments of convening with our inner guidance, our soul group, live in person here at Apotheca in Sedona, Arizona, and wherever we are, I always feel we're always together. And the latest bathroom activity in real life, every moment, is learning to presence my silence in front of everyone. Whoever's on my mind, whoever's in my heart, whoever is in my awareness, I presence myself silently, like you shared, without attachment to outcome, without an agenda, and just being present to listening, being present. And it's such a cool feeling. Some people get a little bit, like, what are you doing? I said hello. So I presence myself with a hello, not to be invasive or spying on them, more to be present in the awareness fields that Ty shares so beautifully with us about being present without any thought, without any agenda. And for me, that's just been an extraordinary experience of caring, without any pity, without any sorrow. And I have to share with Todd was sharing that he was nervous, and I felt this nervousness too. And like there's today, the current through all of us humans is this air of disappointment almost today. And how all of us empaths individually with each other in a heart coherence and a heart discoherence. It could be a disco word, right? We could dance to that. and feeling the disappointment, or like, wow, being silent in my presence to that disappointment and that nervousness, and then just letting it wiggle through your body and breathing it out. And thank you for that stretching, right? It like allows us to be the empaths we are without feeling bad or bringing everybody's stuff in your body and your field, and how that was like bad before or something like that. I don't know, I live that every day.
That's what's changing.
Yeah.
These ideas that, we weren't born with these ideas. We were told this is this, that is that, this is bad. So allowing that to fall away. And what it sounds like as I listen to you speak about truly being in the moment, it sounds like freedom to me. Because we've all read that meme that says if you're thinking about the future, you're worrying about what's going to come. If you're dwelling in the past, you're creating anxiety about one moment at a time. Bashar taught me that over a decade ago. You can look at a flower, you can enjoy the warmth coming in through the window, you can notice the breeze on your face. In every moment, you can always find something to be grateful for. And those moments become minutes, and those minutes become hours, and those hours become days. And before you know it, you are just in a timeless, formless state of allowing.
Amen.
Let spirit flow through you without going upstream. Thank you, Ash.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Any other bathroom stories? Anyone have any shower experiences?
We just found the two hosts of the new show, Sola G.
The bathroom experience? Thank you.
That was awesome. Did y'all plan that out?
No, it was spontaneous.
That's the way it works. Thank you. Anybody else want to take a shot? Anybody else? Here we go. By the way, I love the way you dance. This all started with me going on the streets and I danced. And everybody used to say, you dance like you don't care what people think. Which is another way of saying you dance funny. Or some, you know, but I love the way you dance. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, my approach to dance has always been to recognize that I'm completely untrained and have no skills, and so to make up for that with enthusiasm. I'm David Rosenthal, and I had no idea what I was coming to tonight. Diane invited Iris and I. But it sounds like you want to hear people's truth. And I have a rather unusual truth. I'm an ambassador for dolphins. And I've been doing that. Actually, this began in Sedona in 1996. So at that time, I was with a woman who at that time called herself Linda Shea, and she went to Hawaii and swam with the dolphins. And that night, she got there and found herself alone with a pod of about 90 dolphins for about 2 hours. And one of them swam up to her, and something happened. And that night, she was staying at a place where people who had gone to Hawaii to swim with the dolphins stayed. And people started telling her that they were feeling this energy coming through her. And that it was the same energy that they felt when they were in the water with the dolphins. Did we just lose something? All right. Okay, good. Only I sound different now. Okay. Anyway, so she came home to Sedona, and we started having dolphin energy healing nights every Sunday for about 2.5 years, and we would get 40 or 45 people in a room, and then we didn't charge, so that made it easy for people to come. And we would do an evening of dolphin energy healing. And that went on for about 7 years, during which time there were another series of experiences between Linda and the Dolphins. And that continued at the end of 7 years. And by that time we were
the universe is this story is going to be told. Sorry about that.
Is it? Oh, so we still have sound. Do you know if you have people online who are? Yeah, okay. And it's still working. All right. So she woke up one morning completely new. She woke up one morning and she was a completely different, transformed person, and she no longer had any fears. And then the other thing that happened was that the Dolphins were talking to her all the time. And they told her, we performed an experiment on you, and it worked. And so now, and this wasn't just for you, now this is for you to start giving to others. And so that was the beginning of Dolphin Heart World, which has been so she decided she was going to have her first group, and I wasn't interested. I was like, that sounds really good, sweetheart. Have a good time. And a friend of ours came to me and said, David, you have to do this. But I still wasn't interested. And then I understood what it was. When I understood that, because all this time I had been with this woman who had this extraordinary magical relationship with, not just with physical dolphins, but with the dolphin consciousness and with spirit dolphins. And Sedona, all of Sedona used to be at the bottom of a sea. And so there's all sorts of spirit dolphins still here around Sedona. And they would talk to her, and sometimes they would talk to me, and they would go on hikes with us. It was pretty interesting. But at any rate, I thought that, she had this really special, cool thing going with the dolphins. And what I came to understand one moment was, oh, what they're saying is that I can have that too. So I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to do this, So we had our first pod of, we were hoping for 6 people, and we got 11, and we did it in one of the rooms in our house, and we did the series of 6 dolphin attunements, which were these transmissions, spiritual initiations. There are no words in the English language, but we came to attunements as the closest, where we would all lay down together. And it was clear that the dolphins were doing it, like she wasn't doing it. There was something that it was now able to come through her. But the dolphins were doing it, and it was really, really cool. And the 6th one was, I'll tell you my experience of the 6th one. I found myself in the water, swimming. I mean, I was lying on the floor of one of our bedrooms on a cushion, but actually I was in the water swimming, and there was a dolphin to my left and a dolphin to my right, a dolphin behind me and a dolphin in front of me. And gradually everything got shimmery, and we weren't physical anymore, we were light, and they started coming closer and closer together. And then we merged. And my life has never been the same. And that was June of 2003. That was now 20 years ago. So since then, we've been teaching dolphin school. and our business is Dolphin Heart World. And about 1,000 people now have gone through these experiences. And it's been a really interesting life. And what's interesting, I live in Clarkdale. And these days I'm not very connected to very many people in Sedona because we're doing it all virtually online. And the first 8 years we weren't allowed to do it virtually. They told us you have to be in the room with people. And so we traveled and we had a pod in San Francisco and a pod in Florida. And somehow we got very popular in the Netherlands. There was this deep spiritual group of people who were already connected in the Netherlands. And one of them decided, this is the next thing you all have to do. And so we would spend 1 month out of every 3 teaching these weekends in the Netherlands. We would, and each weekend there were dolphin living skills and the dolphin attunements and dolphin energy healing. And we were certifying people as dolphin energy healers who were going out and giving this energy to others as a career. Okay. Should I talk about Archie? All right. So Iris knows this story. She was a student in our class in Florida in 2009, and in 2017, Linda, who now goes by Shay, and I started transitioning our relationship out of a marriage into the spiritual partnership that it was always, the purposeful spiritual partnership that it was always meant to be. And she's now living on the big island of Hawaii. And at any rate, so the very first group of my little group in Sedona, Linda led us through a meditation where you meet your dolphin spirit guide. And it was interesting because about 6 months earlier, a friend of ours did World Angel Day in Phoenix, and I got to meet Archangel Michael. And for the next 6 months, I had been meditating every day with Archangel Michael. And he was helping me through this huge transition in my life that I thought was going in a completely different direction than it ended up going. But at the time, I was a software engineer. And I knew I was leaving that, and I thought I was going in one direction, but that was a big transition. At any rate, so I meet my dolphin spirit guide. So this huge, like 9-foot golden dolphin swims up to me and says, "You can call me Archie." And that was bizarre, because I grew up, this may not be evident now, but I grew up with flaming red hair. And people used to kid me about being Archie and give me Archie birthday cards. And so anyway, this dolphin introduced himself to Archie as Archie. And next morning, I sat down to meditate. And Archangel Michael came in from one side, and Archie came in from the other side. And I was like, Archie, Archangel, Archie, And Archie said, "You can think of us as the dolphin aspect of Archangel Michael." So apparently the dolphins and the angels have this thing going. And at any rate, so 6 weeks later, we were invited to bring our school that we hadn't even done yet to the Netherlands. And we were like, what the hell? And we needed somebody to talk to about it, but nobody that we used to talk to wanted to talk to us about it. And then I sat up, and this voice started coming through me. And it was Archie. And he said, "Okay, this is your life purpose. This is what you're doing. This is what you're going to be teaching in your weekends." And I've been channeling Archie ever since, which in Sedona is not unusual. You know, we used to say that Sedona had lousy cable TV, but we did have 500 channels. And at any rate, for the first 8 years, I only channeled Archie for Linda because I wanted to get people together. So let me get to the point, because I I can talk about this obviously for a very long time. But we humans have been in our current level here on planet Earth for maybe 10,000 years. And the dolphins have been here on planet Earth in more or less their current situation for about 25 years. I'm sorry, for about 25 million years. And they look at us as the new kids on the block who have a lot to learn. When a young child is born, and particularly a boy gets to be 2 years old, there's a period that he goes through that's called the terrible twos. And the terrible twos is basically when a kid is just running around and breaking everything he touches. And so the dolphins told us, well, right now humanity as a species is going through your terrible twos. And we want to hurry that along. And so that hopefully there'll still be a planet for us to all play with. At any rate, it's been interesting. I taught a thing online this afternoon that was about welcoming, which was about allowing, and it was exactly in line with everything that was being shared earlier. So this is all very, very interesting. I think I'll just leave it here. I love my life. I love dolphins. I have gotten to swim with them. I've had a few unbelievable experiences with whales, which is a whole other dimension. That's me. Oh, and if you're curious, it's dolphinheart.world is our website.
Dolphinheart.world. So, we've done a podcast. That's our primary means of expressing. We've done like 4,400, and we have people like you come on every day and talk about all kinds of different things. I know a guy named Jan. I can't remember his last name right now. He actually looks like a dolphin, and so does his wife. And he went to Hawaii, kind of like you, just, he was just not expecting it. And he went out into the water and started swimming, and he thought he was going to drown. Jan Lumley, I think is his name, or that's Kate Lumley. And so these dolphins surrounded him. And all of a sudden, he had extraordinary energy, and he started swimming with them. And now he does the same thing. He works with the dolphins and the whales, with some other folks that do the same thing, and they take people all over the world. So anyway, we have people that come on the show, that come onto the Sola G platform, and they talk about these types of things that are not talked about. And the interesting thing is, there's two interesting things to me. One is, like, I'll give you an example, it's the best way. I got an email from a lady, and she said, I've been seeing fairies all my life. They're in my garden, I talk to them, I'm one of them somehow, etc. She said, I'm so happy I found your channel, because I turned it on and there was a lady talking about the star beings that would come into her room, ETs, and she said, I've never had that happen, but I found a platform that she can speak about what she speaks about, and I can speak about what I speak about, and it taught me something, how everybody's experience is different, but it's the same. We just haven't acknowledged it. Now, the second thing is that after 4,400 podcasts and many other productions, I study a lot of podcasts. I look at what they talk about. I feel into the dynamics and the energy. And every now and then I'll catch a show on Gaia or Ancient Aliens or Coast to Coast, and they'll have somebody on who talks to dolphins or fairies or ETs like it's some type of aberration, when it's not. So my goal has been to make Sola G mainstream and to make these topics mainstream, because this is unity consciousness embodied, when everybody understands that everybody's reality is real. And we're actually playing in a multi-dimensional playground that's taken on a physicalization now. So the next time I see you, I'll probably be in Hawaii, and you'll be in the water, and you'll be in your dolphin body for the day, and you'll say, hey, remember me? Speaking of that, we have Tim Smith here, and Tim is a very good friend of Soulogy, and he's a music producer and a musician, and he literally has a house right close to your condo, like half a mile away, and he has created a fairydom. The backyard's full of fairies, and behind the house is full of fairies, and he films them and he creates music with them, and we're going to talk about it for a second, right? Yeah.
Can you get that mic close?
Close.
So they can hear you online.
Okay. Just have the mic close so they can hear you online.
Tim knows what to do.
Okay. Oh, it's me? I'm still an amateur. So, yeah, this is like a Soul Speaks 5D. So when did you start having interactions with fairies?
Okay, it all started when I went into depression. I've never, ever been in depression my entire life. And I moved my mother from California to Prescott. And I went into depression, and I went up there, and 3 big, beautiful beings were there on this planet, and they said to me, raise your frequency and vibration. And the one in the middle had a king's crown on. And I came back to my body that night, and I got up, and for 6 weeks, my star team was coming in and working with me and going through the healing process. We all have to heal. I had a lot to heal, and then they literally took everything away from me. They said they wanted to put me on the street. Everything was taken away from me. In my music career, I worked for Britney Spears, Eddie Money, Hall & Oates, and they came in and literally took everything away, and I was on the street, and I lived in a tent for 5 months, and I connected with the Indians. There was like 144 Indians that didn't cross over yet, so I learned to speak the language. You remember when I lived in the tent and everything, and then they came in one day, and they said, you're moving today. And I'm like, where am I moving to? I got a van and a tent. Am I moving to the van? And that literally that day, I rented the place that you stayed at. And it all happened in one day. And that's when the fairies came in. And I was out walking in the back, and the trees were lighting up with little white fire, and you could see her wings and stuff. And I filmed it. And then Rosie came in, her name was Rosie, and then one night I was out in the back, and I said to her, I said, Rosie, I said, fly across the screen and show yourself. And she was flying across the screen with her wings, and she showed herself for me on camera. And then just recently I was at the golf course, and 5 came around and they flew up the tree. So I'm definitely working with them, and I star travel a lot, and I have a contract with the Green Realm. And basically, what I've learned is that Mother Nature is my goddess. And the Green Realm is how I create my magic in this life. And I'm still totally healing. I still got so much stuff to work on. It's an everyday thing. But, yeah. Yeah, so in the movie, it's called The Green Realm, Sedona Fairies. And we had a Hollywood producer come, and he started working on it. And we're getting ready to put more content in it. Mother Mary came to me, and Mother Mary is the fairy godmother of the fairies. Mother Mary's incredible. So I had a situation with Mother Mary, and so anyway, back in Prescott, they said that my star goddess was Shekinah Rose, and I was like, the name Shekinah Rose. What would you think, right? I'm newly awakened. I'm like, Shekinah Rose. I go online and I find her, and she agreed to. I told her the music business, and she agreed to have lunch with me. And later on, I found out that my mission was to get together with her and bring her into the green realm so she can do some transmissions. And she did Wahia, which is one of our big ones. And she's an amazing language of light singer. And I got a chance to work with her as well. She's been on the path like 20 years. And yeah. Yeah, it's all on Sedona Music and Film Group on YouTube. And if you go down to the green realm, you could watch the trailer and see the footage of the fairies. And then we just did something big for Lahaina. I got a new band. It's called Primal Sky, and we did Bless Lahaina, which is a track that we did for the people of Lahaina. It's a prayer for them. And I have a lot of friends in Lahaina, and I connected with that whole thing. And yeah. So
Far out. Thank you. Yeah, let's do something. Let's bring Rosie in. Let's bring the fairies in. Are we okay here? Oh, I thought he knew how to do that.
Asked me to learn the solfeggio scale, and Ty would know too. That's really tough to put it on a guitar. Sweet. That was sweet. Yeah? If you, whatever you want to do. I just
just know how to make stuff up. Okay. Let me look at you. What are you going to do? Slow or fast? Slow. Let's do slow. Test, test. Oh, that's nice. Once I was a little boy, and I had the best mama ever. She used to give me milk and honey, and then I got a little older. Then I got a little bolder. She taught me to go for the gold. And Mother Mary's the fairy godmother. And Mama always brings you home. Her love lasts forever and ever. She gives me strength when I'm down. And one thing about the mother, no matter where you are, she's always around. Stars are rising, the sun is going down. The earth is rising, Mother God is coming down. Just remember what she told you. You are my only son.
Anybody want to do some vocals? Wow. Cool. Very cool. So, anybody else want to come up and take a stab at it? Yeah. Stand or sit?
I have no idea.
Whatever you want to do. You want to sit?
And get quite close to that microphone. I know it's a little uncomfortable. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. The audience wants to hear you on that online here.
Sitting in the presence. How's that? Is that better?
Absolutely.
All right. This is certainly not a comfortable space for me to be in. But in all of your presence, I feel the comfort in the discomfort. So part of my soul walk this last year is I left my 32-year marriage and my family, and it brought me out west. And the more that I tap into that and feel into that and know that I am following the guidance and the deepening of the resonance of my presence and what is to come and what is here right now and what I'm birthing. And connecting in so many ways and relating in every single thing that has been shared tonight. It's such a joy, and it makes me burst. Like I feel like I'm bursting like a star. And so my joy is overflowing, and as my deepening connection with the Mother and the Goddess and Mary, or also known as the Theotokos, and her presence in all the many realms that we talked about. And I love hearing about the fairy realm, as that's something that is deepening for me, as I know that that's also part of the journey and the many multidimensional aspects. So thank you for letting me sit here, and thank you to everyone out there who may be watching right now. And it's been just a beautiful gift to be part of this journey right now on this earth as she is birthing. And what a joy.
Wow. Is there a Julie Roberts in the house? She came in and stepped out. Can I coax anyone else to get up here? Or do we want to... Oh, Diane River. Diane River. South Carolina to Sedona in 2 days. And I know a little bit about your story, but if you want to share. If you don't, that's fine. You want me to do it? Put some music on. Yeah. Yeah, and if anybody wants to, we'll just take a musical break. How much time are we? It's 5 till 9. Okay, so we got an hour. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Yeah, if anybody wants to come in, and we'll just do something. We've got some drums over here. Serena. No pressure. Oh, would you like to come? Hang on. Do you want to do it Soul Speaks 5D style, or you want to just grab the mic? Oh. I have this saying on Soul Speaks 5D, it's, did you have a wake-up experience, or have you always been this weird? My mother has been a constant. There's been a certain something. I was called a mama's boy. There was just a certain something that I got from her growing up. And as life, as we all know, takes its many, many courses, I can stand here today in embodiment, and I can say that I can only speak for myself, but my mother is Mother Universe. My mother is Mother Goddess. And I'm so happy to be in alignment with her. We didn't speak for 6 years, and on May 30th, we had a belated Mother's Day meal, and we've been hanging out ever since. And she had just moved out of her house and went into independent living. And so we've been hanging out, and we've had a lot of very divine episodes. and a lot of telepathic, intuitive connectivity, and we decided telepathically in the flow, let's move you back into your house, don't sell it. And I promised her that I would, make sure, because I will travel a little bit, that I'll make sure that someone's going to be with her every single moment that she's in that house. So she's going to go back to her house, and I'm going to set up a Sola G Houston office there, and we're going to roll. So I love you so much. I'm a lot like my mother, and I don't mean this about myself, but she's very, very intelligent, and she's very open, and she has supreme perseverance and supreme love. And some people get that, and some people don't, and I'm glad that I do. But I think I always have, so she's a huge part of Soulogy. I wouldn't be the man I am if it wasn't for the interactions and the relationship and the connection that we have. So thank you, and it's all yours.
Well, as they say where I come from, howdy, and I'm happy to be here with y'all. I love my son very much. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of everything that he has done with Soulogy, and I want to be a help. I want to join with him to help it to grow and meet more very unique people as I have met since we've been here. I'm 84 years old. I've had a very full life, and I'm to the point to where I really want him to know who I am. So we have shared. I talk too much. He listens. So I hope that we're accomplishing this, that he will know who I am and why I am who I am. And I'm to the point in my life where I feel like every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast, even if it's just my cup of yogurt. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to meet all you wonderful people. Hope to see you in Houston, and we'll just have a big Mexican fiesta with a piñata. Thank you.
Soulogy. Soulogy. Oh God. It was 12 years ago. And I too had everything taken away. Except for the one thing that I knew, my truth. I knew the universe knew my truth. And deep, deep down inside, even though we were light years from each other, I knew my mother knew my truth. That's all the same thing. So, you know, writing words from a flip phone, being guided by Archangel Michael, didn't make any sense. Being in the back of a cop car with my handcuffed, and Archangel Michael came in and said, "You're just cutting the ties that bind." But I learned that you cannot detach from that which you're always connected to. And so I walked the streets for 2 years, And pretty much, I worked some, and I did a lot of thinking, and I developed a constant communion with the universal. And then I was welcomed off the streets by my mother, and I moved into her house with my 2 baby daughters who had lost their mother. And my mother gifted me a laptop, and I started to put my words to images, and now she encouraged me. She listened to me. I talked a lot, but she listened to me when I told her about how Jesus came to me, and Mary Magdalene, and 6 biblical prophets, and 3 ancestors from a Native American life. And I know she probably thought I was a little bit crazy, but there was something inside of her. And I remember the day that I understood she knew who I was, and I do know who you are. You don't have to worry about that. And I told her that, it all kind of started. The universe had me working with these souls that were lost in between the earth and the healing heavens. And I had about 25 or 30 of these episodes, and many other ones. And then one day I laid on the couch and I said, what about Jesus? And he came in. And I've never told this story publicly. And he came in like that. And then it all started. And Mary Magdalene came in. And without going into all the details of the story, because it's metaphoric, but it's real, he told me, she told me, I was their son. And so I was sitting at the table with my mother one afternoon, just fresh off the streets, trying to get my life together. And I said, they told me that I was their son. And that my name was Jade, which meant timeless and eternal. And I said, but I don't really believe that I'm their son. I think it's like metaphoric. And she said, why not? And I'll never forget that. So, at Sola G, I think it's all about being vulnerable, being nervous, because the only way to transparency is through that vulnerability and through the fears. So that's what we try to talk about, and that's what we try to sing about, and that's what we try to express in collaboration and co-creation, doing things that have never been done before. It's a remix. Remixing Kuan Yin and Saint Germain, archangels, angels, galactics, elementals, the dolphins, the whales. They're tied to Sirius, Pleiades. We've got some Andromedans in here, Arcturians. They're all connected and they're all inside of us. Nothing's outside of us. We never gave up and we never stopped dreaming. I used to think I was just a man. I used to think I was just a man. Then the Arcturians lit up my ceiling. True story. Then my grandmother came in as an insectoid with 2 other aunties while I was laying in a hotel room. and they started healing my body. I never thought I'd see my grandmother look like an insect, but she had a huge and high degree of frequency and healing properties that she shared with me. She's come in many times. Just another version of the Mother Goddess, just another version of the Mother. But she was the same. And now I speak regularly to the 13 grandmothers. And as I've come to understand in the universal and infinite wisdom, the 13 grandmothers is who the 12 grandfathers of the earth work for. You can't have anything without the Mother. Just wanna be free. I wanna fly with these golden wings. I wanna hear the holy children sing. There's a rainbow bridge shining up on top of the highest mountains all across this world. The seventh sun is sealed. It's the great revealing. Sister, I don't need your time no more. Brother, I don't need your dime. All these lawless laws, there's no crime in being yourself. Open up your heart, heal yourself, revealing is the path of transparency. Through the fears we seek, free. Freedom in the soul, gotta let it grow in this creation. Living from the heart and the soul's creation. Gotta feel, gotta be funky in real time. Don't be demurred by anything that does not represent the spirit. Omi tuto na tutuile, tutututuloye, tututubarisha. Ekumumio to the ancestors that come and we stand upon their shoulder. Grandma and Grandpa knew how to groove. Get them in so we can find the moon. The ancestors.
our connection through creation to the DNA and the awareness of love manifest in real time through you and me. Sola G style.
We're coming. We're coming. We're coming back to love. Come back to love again with me. Never been a soul. Never been a soul like you or me. Heaven knows nothing will be untold. We're mining shadows with each other, but we'll leave them behind now, 'cause we got new paradigms to discover. Ooh, there's been enough pain and suffering. Don't you know I love you? Sister, you inspire me so deep. I love when your hands hit those drums and we got that funky soul beat. Isn't it neat? Isn't it sweet? Living and loving down on Soul Street. Down on Soul Street.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Yeah, that was a test of something.
Well, I wasn't going to cuss tonight, but we do have a saying at Soulogy. Another way to say I am soul is to say I'm not afraid to show my ass. So Ty and I tend to do that quite often. But it's all good. This has been beautiful.
I believe we have a drummer in the house.
We have a drummer in the house. Tim. Ground control. Hey, Serena, slap him. Hey, you ready to play some drums? Bro, you ready to play some drums, brother? Yeah. Hey, I'm Todd. How are you? Steven, nice to meet you. Test. You got any more friends from the green realm? From the fairy realm? No, I just was making. He has that energy, you know. Oh yeah. Okay. See, there you go. We got some time, yeah. Come over here, or take this mic.
Okay. Go back at least 30 years. I started studying with a Mongolian eel shaman, and it's really funny when you see somebody that can stick you in a circle of people and says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a drum, I'm going to shake a rattle, I'm going to sing a song, I'm going to burn some incense and wave my feathers, and you're all going to go somewhere. Meaning, move you into an altered state of consciousness. I was just literally blown away that somebody could do that. And I'm not taking no drugs, I'm not doing no alcohol. How can a person be in a room and just shift your awareness? You're not all in the same space right now. That's how fast you can shift consciousness. Ceremony is an intentful construction of a bridge from this place into that non-place. So off I went into the world of becoming an apprentice for about 30 years, doing one thing on one thing only, and that is learning how to take people in another place, in consciousness. Lo and behold, I didn't have no idea what the door was going to open to, because we think this is all there is. Well, if you took what we call reality and we think that's all there is, that would be comparing a grain of sand to the beach, because the stuff that you don't see is far more vast. And off I went off the deep end of learning what that was all about. Case in point, fairies, gnomes, Sasquatches, unicorns, and the like. Some of them are in antiquity consistently talked in different cultures all over the world, which means they're not locked by our knowledge or our wisdom, because they span history and they expand culture. Hence things like gnomes and fairies, and especially unicorns. It's very interesting. If you look at those modalities, you'll find out they exist in multiple cultures. They're not privy to, oh, Ireland, and we're going to see leprechauns. No, it's not the case. In shamanic work, you actually go into these worlds and basically meet these people one-on-one, mano-y-mano, and it kind of changes your outlook of what you think reality is. And a lot of people think you're crazy, but I equate it to like if this was a building and you're standing there and I'm standing here and I step back and say, oh, I can see this over here, but you can't because this is behind the building, right? So if I took one of you and said, come over here and look at that, you'd go, oh, I get it. But because now you've made this intentional movement of your knowledge, you now know this place, or this being, if you will. Hence is the world of fairies and gnomes. They are sentient beings, and I love the definition I use out of Star Wars. When someone becomes a Jedi Knight when they're little, how they know they had the potential, it was by this symbiotic relationship with a thing called a metachlorian. There were sentient beings that lived in the blood, And by the count of midichlorians, that would denote if you had the potential to become an ascended master or a spiritual person. Hansen like fairies and gnomes. They're somewhat kind of like that. They're there, they're real, but you know, the old saying is, if you don't believe, they ain't gonna let you know nothing. So, where do we go with that? How willing are you to, well, you know what? This is all I know, this world. What if I dared to understand the unseen? To trust, the magic word, intend a relationship with things not seen, touched, taste, or feel, but you have to work the faculties of your human condition at a whole different gear. Now, mind you, most of us aren't developed spiritually. I'm not no special person, but each one of us don't understand the unseen world all that great. So we're walking in a field or arena of what we don't know. At best, maybe guessing what we might find. But they're sentient. That means, oh, that human over there is trying to communicate with me. Sentientness will communicate with sentientness if the intention is set correctly. Hansen Force, I tell people, you want to have relationships with fairies? All you got to do is really want it. They're dying to have a relationship with us. Because you know what? Us humans kind of screwed up this planet. You know why? Because of disrespect of our physicalness that we have to caretake, let alone their presence. Now you know why you don't see fairies, gnomes, unicorns, Sasquatches, whatever. I tell people, be able to move the bar a little bit closer into the stuff that you don't know. You gotta remember, all things are spirit-based. All things are of, I guess we could call God. There's no bad stuff. Since when did the Creator make bad stuff? It's impossible. I use the example of a tiger. A tiger is a formidable animal. It lives in the forest. It eats things. That's what it does. A tiger growls and has big sharp teeth and big fangs and it's hungry. Yeah, it will find food. As simple as that. But in the forest, in its natural paradigm, it lives and has its being in balance. But what if you took it out? What if you took it out and stuck it in downtown New York and hasn't eaten 3 days? It's only going to do what a tiger does. It's going to find something and it's going to eat something. Question, does that make the tiger bad? No. It's just being a tiger. Likened to fairies. Fairies and gnomes do what they do, but maybe from us they might be fearful or this or that, and that's based upon our perception of how we understand things. But in that place of awareness, that place of spirit, it's a leveling field, if you will, and they do appreciate being noticed. Hence, when we don't notice them, they can become very mischievous and can ruin your day. Take your keys, make you forget things, put things in your world that maybe you might not like, but most people aren't thinking, not being sensitive. Why is this happening to me? Well, they might be getting your attention. Like that. And it's a language and a relationship that has to be developed. Because they would love to have us have a relationship to help us get this place back into balance. Did we ever ask permission to build this building on this piece of land that they've been here longer than we have been? But we just mowed it in the ground, built the building, and there you go. When they see these actions and the intention of the human condition, they step away. And they stay in the shadows because they know we're not interested in them. And I'm just using fairies for an example. There's so many vast types of beings, and living things out there. And we kind of missed the boat. And we really need to develop our spiritual nature and our understanding to understand things that maybe we just may not be working on a full deck, you know what I mean? There's so much more. So much more. That being the case, we need to be responsible. So from a fairies and realm perspective, they love when we pick up trash. They love when we don't pollute. They love when we acknowledge their world. They caretake nature. I carry a lineage that's spider clan based, so in a sense I see things like a web, like a substructure. Can't really explain it because it's a non-physical thing, it's an energetic thing. That being said, fairies and gnomes are like architects on the unseen. They maintain the form that we can't see that gives form to reality. And when we have a relationship for that, you want stuff to happen in your world, you would be amazed what they can do for you. Just got to have a relationship of honor and respect. Vice versa, they'll reciprocate. But if we disregard them and disrespect it, it makes you wonder why the world is as messed up as it really is. The world's like a big AI program. What you put in is what you get out. But because we've been doing it so wrong for so long, the AI program, if you will, your reality, is kind of running on a almost sentient-based program on all our wrongdoing. What if we stopped doing what we're doing and start thinking and intending the more right thing? It puts a wreck in that programming, if you will, in such a way that it can't draw you back into the same thing over and over and over again. If you change going left instead of going right, tripping the repetitive program of keeping you trapped on what you think is real, it's only going to try to bring you back in. But if you are aware of the game and you constantly go left instead of right, yes, no, and you're intentionally doing that, you can literally shape a direction of your world to your choosing. Literally. You want to create whatever you want in your world? Don't follow what everybody's doing. You can literally have anything you want. From your body, mind, and spirit, work from that space. So what does this have to do with fairies? Everything. It has to do with really understanding what you intend, what you feel, and what you desire. Don't worry about it showing up at your door. It's like, oh, that'd be really nice to live there, and you let it go. The universe is absolutely the biggest file cabinet every thought ever made. It's got your back and knows exactly what you want. What we do is human condition. We spend 90% of our time thinking negatively or bad about this or bad about that. Oh, I never get this. I never get that. No, my God, my tooth hurts and whatever. Not what you choose. So fairies, if you will, or those sentient beings, are those forces that are just waiting to help you get whatever you want. Because that's their nature. Like the tiger. It lives in the forest, it eats things. Fairies exist to maintain structure and balance. But if we don't intend structure and balance, what are you going to get? So that's my take on the fairy and elf realm, and I can say from my perspective, I've been doing this for so long, I'd say the last 5 or 10 years has been awe-inspiring, because literally my world is happening effortlessly the way I want it to happen. starts by one thing. You got to clean up you first and respect all these things that you may not know anything about and give them the benefit of the doubt that they exist. And watch your world just go, wow. Because they get excited when you're excited. That's why fairies are happy and all that kind of stuff. Show them wings and they dance and they frolic because that's all they know. They don't know anything to do with what we call negative. It's not even in their language. So, I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. We have about 15 minutes, 19 minutes. So there's a soul that has touched so many lives of the people that I know, certainly at Sola G. We did 52 shows together. We did a couple of Fridays every month for a couple of years, I think. He was at the first Soulgy Fest in Sedona. His name is Franco Di Nicola, and he had a birthday 2 days ago. And he's here. And he works with many of us, and that's not a joke. So, in synchronicity, I became aware that his birthday was a couple of days ago, the night of the Equinox. And it was a year before that he passed after that Soulgy Fest 2 years ago from COVID. We both got COVID on the same day. And he was already defying medical science. He had 4 organs that were less than 20% functioning. His heart was not functioning, yet he still lived and still did his work. And him and his beautiful partner, Kimberly Ross, they created a series called Advancing Consciousness, which I believe is the most comprehensive reference to what's going on today, what's gone on, and what's gonna go on. A beautiful, beautiful brother. And so after he transitioned, and I wrote a song about him, and we've done it a couple times, so I thought we would do it now. I'm not asking how no more. There's no need to talk about it. We know the truth's been outed. We don't have to try so hard. Finally found the flow. It doesn't move so slow. We surrender to the lies and 0 point in sense. And got no choice, you know. Have to let it go. Have to die again. if a seed's to grow. I don't need to know. I don't need to know the why's, my friend. We don't have to lie no more. Look how far down we gone when our hearts ran cold. Built walls over doors. Look how far we come. We don't have to die no more. And death's all not a chore. So good to be alive. Blows my mind, you know. And every breath's the high. 'Cause love don't have to try. We're the genies and the gins. Don't you know it's time to give? I found the fallen angels making friends with strangers. I think I might just die again so I can resurrect. I swear I'll do my best. Endless chances will I get? Just like you, I'm my only bet. I'm living dreams without regrets. Come on now, let's fix this mess. Let's love till nothing's left. Let's see what glory is. Let's see what's glorious. Ain't so serious. Life is not a test. The child never left. It's still inside of us, can't you see? Winning don't exist. Everybody shifts. Hope you get my drift. Don't you know the world is on a string? And even silent angels sing. You are everything. You are everything. The one and only thing. Always find you at the end. And why do we find ourselves in this present? To grow love's hows and whys. And Franco, it's why we'll always do it again. That's his signal to us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much.
Creator has a master